What if the stress that distracts you could actually help you focus better? That's the power of staying focused under stress. In my previous episode, Productivity Under Pressure, we discussed how too much pressure of nearing project deadlines, meeting sales targets, competition to excel, family responsibilities, and various other things can impact your productivity at workplace. This pressure will also induce unnecessary stress in your work life. In this episode, we will dive into focus and understand how focus can boost your productivity under stress. Welcome to Inner Quest Healing Talks, Conversations for Stress to Bliss. I am your host, Ravindra Murthy. The common struggles we face include distractions from social media like Instagram Reels, LinkedIn posts, emails, tweets, and so on. Assume that you did a post on Facebook about your last week's vacation and you come to office. So what is the next thing that would be lingering in your mind? You look forward for the number of likes, comments, and so on for the post you did on the Facebook, right? I hope you can relate to what I'm telling. Adding to this, multitasking leads to mistakes. It could be while sending an important email to your manager or customer. Imagine you're composing an important mail to your manager. You get a WhatsApp notification, which I call a distraction. This message leads you to a YouTube video. From there, you go on and finally realize that you have spent a good amount of 20 minutes of your time, and later you realize that you had to send an email which is important. So what do? You just send the email without reviewing the mail content. I have also experienced these types of problems many times when I was a software developer. Yes, as a software developer, I would have just fixed a bug in my software and I see my colleague calling for a coffee. Though I insist him to wait, he is not ready as he has to attend another meeting after coffee, and that makes me to hurriedly submit the code without proper testing. And later, I used to see that my wrong code had impacted the other modules of the software. I've also faced this while making coffee at home. I keep milk to boil on the stove. I'm looking for sugar and I get a call from a close friend. And you can guess what happens next. Trying to do many things at once also creates errors, and at the end, it would also be stressful. These things begin to control our mind and our ability to concentrate or focus. And sadly, today it is an accepted norm in our lives today. To overcome these things, yes, we need to focus when we are doing multitasking. One of my virtual mentor, Dandapani, tells that we are told to concentrate or focus and never taught how to focus. That's really true. Today, let me define focus. Focus is the ability to keep our awareness on one thing for a long period of time. The longer you can consciously focus on one task, the better. For instance, when you're driving a car, you're focusing on the road. So longer time you have to focus on the road when you're driving, even though subconsciously you are changing the gears, you're managing the accelerator and brake pedals. and so on. So, more importantly, consciously choosing to move from one task to another at will is important when you are doing an activity or a task with focus. For example, let's come back to the driving example where you basically focus on the road while driving, and at times you also look at the mirror. So you're consciously switching your focus to mirror to see if things are fine and there are no distractions, and then you come back to your focus, or you bring back your focus back to driving. What happens if you start juggling multiple tasks at a time subconsciously? So without focus, you tend to go into auto mode to shift from one task to another, just like how, for instance, we reach out to our mobile phone whenever we hear that ting notification tone, right? Our hand automatically reaches the mobile even though we are busy with an important task at hand, and land into distractions, decreasing productivity. And not only that, it scatters our energy. Remember, we have limited energy in a day, and if we spend our energy on unwanted tasks, juggling between multiple tasks, we experience burnout, and we can recharge only during night when we have a sound sleep. Hence, it is important to efficiently use the energy, and it is possible with proper focus, where we consciously shift from one task to another. Focusing on a task will ensure we will be efficient in both time and energy management. In order to apply this in your workplace, I have a simple 3R framework called Remove, Replace, Recharge. As a first step of the framework, remove unwanted distractions. I would insist you can turn off notifications in your mobile phone. If you want, you can also try digital detox. Some of my friends have told that it works well, and they have got additional hours to spend on useful activities. I have not tried this though. So you may ask me, Ravi, if I turn off notifications, I will miss my important messages. That's where the second step of the framework, replace, comes in. Divide your day's work into multiple tasks, say 15 to 30 minutes each. Create time slots in your day's plan and fill the tasks for the respective time slots. Create, for instance, a social media task in your daily plan and catch up with your social media accounts. So, club visiting all your social media channels in this particular time slot, maybe a 30 minutes time slot, and it's okay. Similarly, you can create one task for catching up with your friends, calling your relatives, or even paying your utility bills and credit card bills and so on. So by clubbing multiple subtasks into one or more task and putting them into a particular slot of your day will ensure you're occupied with one task and you're more focused on that particular task. The third step of the 3R framework is recharge. Include some 15 minutes slots for short breaks also during the day. Take a quick walk, do some mindful breathing exercises, take a power nap if you have the facility, and so on. This 3R framework has worked for me, and I am sure it works for you as well. So, next time you find yourself out of focus, no need to worry. Apply the 3R framework and stay focused in your work to turn pressure into performance. This is your host, Ravindra Murthy. Thank you for joining me today. Take a breath, take it slow, and remember, bliss begins within.